the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning out there to everyone that is listening. It is a very cold Tuesday morning. Today is December 20th, and you're tuned into Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I am your host for today, Quabila Harden, and in the studio with me, I have a very special guest, Lieutenant Curtis Sadler from the Salvation Army. Thank you, Lieutenant, for joining us today.
You're welcome.
All right, so I wanted to give him the opportunity to share with you some information about the Salvation Army, things you thought you knew and things you don't know. And I would love for him to start out telling a little bit about himself and where he's from and how he came to Jonesboro and started working for the Salvation Army.
Well, Quabila, I grew up in Oklahoma,
Okay.
and I'm a man married and have 4 children, and been married for 23 years now. And through that, trials and tribulations happen, and I met the Salvation Army through their adult rehabilitation program, which is a drug rehabilitation program. And that was back in 2006, and which is one of their many services that they offered. And after completing the program, God placed a calling on my life to become a Salvation Army officer, and so I just followed His call, and by doing that, I wound up, and we were there for 3 years assisting a set of Salvation Army officers at the Salvation Army there. And from there, we moved to Atlanta, Georgia, where we were in training for the Salvation Army for 2 years. And after that, our first appointment is what they would call it.
Okay.
Our place that they sent us after being commissioned as ordained ministers of the Salvation Army was Rogers, Arkansas, and we served 4 years there, my wife and I and my children.
Okay.
And then our next battle is here in Jonesboro, Arkansas.
All right, so you have done some traveling.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you obtain your license, your minister license through the Salvation Army, or was it something you were already doing before?
No, ma'am, it's through the Salvation Army.
Okay. Well, that is wonderful that you accepted your calling and you have a heart to serve the people, because it does take dedicated, loving, caring people to do the type of work that you do, because you meet people at their lowest point and they need someone that's going to reach out to them and not belittle them or put them down or make them feel worse about whatever situation they're in.
Absolutely.
Okay, so tell us some of the services that the Salvation Army offers. You mentioned before about drug rehab. And I know most people, when they hear Salvation Army, they think that just a homeless shelter, but it's so much more to it than that.
Yeah, well, here in Jonesboro, we have the homeless shelter.
Okay.
But we also have, we're a church. We have church services every Sunday morning.
Okay.
And we have our social services department, which we help people with their rent and utilities and food, things like that, of that nature.
Okay. Now, what are the qualifications for someone to apply for your social services?
Well, they just have to meet, bring in their proof of income and expenses, and always, of course, if we have funds available for that, what they're seeking.
Okay. And then concerning the shelter, I don't want to use the word homeless, but is that the politically correct term? Like, what is the...
Yeah, it's a homeless shelter.
Okay, homeless shelter.
Yeah.
Now, what are some of the qualifications that someone, of course, not having their own residence, but do they have to be either seeking work or seeking other help?
No, we encourage them to. We always have job postings listed up. We try to give them a hand up and not just a hand out.
Okay.
And our social service worker works with them and to try to meet them on their level, to see what do they have planned for life, where are they trying to go from there. Is it, we're an emergency shelter, and then, you can't stay longer if you're seeking, employment, and we try to help you find that. And we try to help people fill out applications, because there's a lot that don't even know how to do that.
Okay. Yes. Okay, you offer utility assistance, rent assistance for those that already have their own place. For those that are in the shelter, the social services come in, like you said, they meet them where they are and try to assess their need and encourage them to, okay, let's make some goals and let's try to strive to reach those goals. Okay, what is the time frame that someone has, that someone can stay in the shelter?
Well, what we have is an emergency shelter for up to 7 days, and then after that, we offer what they call a pay to stay,
Okay.
and it's like $60 a week,
Okay.
and that's through gainful employment,
Okay.
But we just don't just put anybody out because they haven't found a job, or we work with them to try to achieve something.
Okay. And so through those programs, the pay to stay, let's talk about the pay to stay. How many success stories? I'm sure there are many. Since you've been there, first of all, I'm sorry, how long have you been at the Jonesboro location?
It's been about 6 months now.
Okay, so I'm sure you met quite a few people during that time frame.
Quite a few.
Okay, and can you tell us some of the success stories since you've been there, without giving away their name and personal information?
Sure, of course. Well, just here a few days ago, had a couple move out, and they found their own apartment, and they've been with us for a little over 3 months.
Okay.
And a week before that, another gentleman moved out. He found him a place to stay. There's numerous success
Okay.
stories. Not all of them are success stories, but there are success stories.
Okay. That's wonderful. Okay, so, and then another thing, the Salvation Army has a store.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us more about how the store operates.
Well, our store is located at 125 East Fisher Street
Okay.
here in Jonesboro, and what our store does is that the income that we bring in from that is not, it's not for financial gain. It goes back into the program.
Okay.
So it's to help us run our social programs, that, the shelter and our social services with the utilities and things like that.
Okay.
And you can always find a great deal there, $1 to $2 clothing prices, that for outfits, that some outfits are $80, and you can get it for $2 at the Salvation Army.
Right,
It's a treasure chest.
that's a great deal. You're tuned to Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're speaking with Lieutenant Curtis Sadler from the Salvation Army. If you have any questions, please give us a call, 870-277-1080. We are also streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. If you have any questions or comments, please post them, and I will try to get them answered and asked and answered on air. Again, the phone number is 870-277-1080. Okay. Another service that many people are familiar with that the Salvation Army provides is bell ringing. Of course, around the Christmas holiday, we see the different people out and about, ringing the bell with the red bucket. So
Right.
Tell us more about that program.
Well, that is one of our biggest fundraisers of the year.
Okay.
And right now, our budgeted goal is $140,000 for this Christmas season, and we're about 30 shy of that right now, 30,000 shy of that, and we have till December the 24th to make that, and that helps us make it through the year, through our fiscal year. So, to help keep that shelter open, to help helping our community.
All right, citizens of Jonesboro, Cricket County, and surrounding areas, if you're looking for a project, I know it's kind of frigid outside, but you can bundle up with some gloves and scarves and everything and get out there and ring the bell. And again, the Salvation Army is a nonprofit entity, And like you said, all the funds raised go back into the program, goes back into the community to help those that are displaced or just need some assistance in whatever area of their life, in whatever area that the Salvation Army can help them. That's where these funds go. So if you yourself have been in a position where you ever needed utility assistance or rent assistance, you know what it was like trying to get it. So if you are in a better place, try to help those that are in need right now. And there are families with children also in the shelter, so they need as much help as possible as well. So what about when someone is in the shelter and they have children and they are trying to seek gainful employment? Is there some type of child care service provided? They need to have their own child care?
No, we don't have any child care there at this time.
Okay.
Most oftentimes, they will have a family member or somebody watch their children throughout the day.
Okay.
We do have a family in there, and the children are in school. So, but now it's Christmas time, and so school's out, and
they have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So, is it something that you may be hoping to add in the future, as far as expanding, or do you have any plans on expanding the current services?
Well, we'd love to expand, but as always, that takes funds to expand. Yes. And like I said, we're still trying to just meet our budget for our day-to-day basis right now. But hopefully through some grants through the community or something down the road that we can expand our shelter to provide more places to sleep and better our social programs.
Okay. Now, what are when it comes to, say, other needs of the individuals who are staying in the shelter, do you take donations of any type of personal care items, clothing, bedding, things of that nature?
Oh, absolutely. We take any type of unused personal care items, of course.
Please.
And we're right now we're in the need of towels and washcloths for our shelter. Because our clients come in, they change over. Even though we wash them, sometimes they go with them when they leave. And we're low on those, so we can always use those. And you can always drop off something at the family store at 125 East Fisher Street. That's something used or brand new that is resellable to the community.
So everyone, I know someone has a box bag full of something they're not using. It's stuffed in the back of a closet somewhere. You say, okay, I'll get to it later, but then later is 2 or 3 years down the line. Just take it out and make a donation to the Salvation Army. Stop by their store at 125 East Fisher Street. Now, can people make donations at the shelter location? Or would you prefer everything?
No, everything goes. Well, depends on what their intention for the donation is.
Well, okay, if it's items that are going directly to the residents,
that would be dropped off at 800 K Avenue.
Okay, so if you have something like personal, I say personal, like just say underwear, socks, things that you want to give to a resident, take that to the 800 K Avenue location.
Yes.
But if you have something that you want to be resold to the community, take that to the Fisher Street location.
Yes.
Okay, and then the Salvation Army, if you haven't been there before, I've been there once. It's been a while ago, but I don't get out very much right now. The prices are really low, so I mean, you can't beat the deals that you get there.
Yeah.
And it's still quality, even though it's digitally used, and it's still quality products. And so you might find something you really love. And like Lieutenant Curtis said earlier, it's like a treasure chest.
Yeah, it's a treasure chest.
You never know what you're going to find.
One of the other services that I mentioned that we also do for our clients and some people from the community in need is they can come, like the folks in the shelter, they may not have proper clothing
Okay.
for, say to do a job interview, or they need a coat or something, and we write them what we call a voucher to go down and shop at our store, find the items they need to help make them successful, to help them dress up, for that interview that might land them that job, to
That's
help them
right.
get back on their feet.
Okay, so if anyone has any business attire or business casual attire, something that's going to help someone get get that job, take the next step in their life, please consider making those donations. Shoes, clothes, if you have underwear, please let them be new. I don't know. And they can always use towels, personal care items like soap, shampoo, things of that nature.
Yes.
Okay, so please consider, donating to the Salvation Army. They provide a wonderful service for the residents right here in Jonesboro. Now, does someone have to have been from Jonesboro, lived in Jonesboro, or could they be from anywhere to stay in the shelter?
As long as they have a valid photo ID and they pass the background check that we have to put them through here in Jonesboro, and as long as we have space available for them.
Space available. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are there some requirements like through the day? Do they have to get up and get out and go job hunting, or do they have to get up and get out during the day, or can they just hang around? Or
No, they have to get up. They generally leave at 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock on Sunday mornings,
okay.
and then they're allowed back at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which we feed them breakfast and lunch, and we also serve dinner to the community every evening.
Wow, that's something I didn't know. So what time is dinner for the community?
It's at 5:30.
All right, so if you are looking for a good meal, consider going down to the Salvation Army at 5:30. And is it Monday through Friday?
Monday through Sunday.
Monday through Sunday. Okay, wow.
Every day of the week, 365 days a year.
And so this will also give you the opportunity to maybe meet some of the residents, talk with them, listen to their stories, and you never know who you might can help just by interacting with someone. You might have something, or you might have a service you can offer to someone in need. So please go down to the Salvation Army, go check it out, go have dinner with the residents, talk to someone, and consider making a donation to the facility on Kate or to the store on Fisher Street. And okay, I want to go back to the bell ringing. Oh, again, I'm sorry, you're tuned into Community Conversations, and we're talking with Lieutenant Curtis Sadler from the Salvation Army. I want to ask, how can someone get involved with the bell ringing? I know you only have up until
Christmas Eve,
which is coming up very soon. Are you in need of more bell ringers?
We'd love some volunteers. You just need to call 870-932-3785 and schedule that. We like groups. Someone that can take a whole shift for at least an 8-hour shift for the day.
Okay.
So if 8 people that's willing to do an hour, 1 hour a piece and switch out, that'd be great.
Okay, so all of you fraternities and sororities out there, I'm picking on you all, whoever's listening. You're out of school. I know some people do have to work, but if you can gather, like you said, 8 people to take an 8-hour shift, you all can knock it out. It's no big deal. You'll have fun. You'll get to meet the people coming and going from the different stores. So what are some of the locations you already have set up? So if someone wants to go by and make a donation in the Red Bucket.
Oh, they can go by any Walmart in the Walmarts on Parker Road and on Highland, Kroger, or J.C. Penney, Dillard's.
Okay. All right. So there's plenty of stores for someone to go by and make a donation.
Absolutely.
In the Red Bucket, and there are still some time left if you would like to do some community service work. Someone is always looking for community service hours. Will be great. And if you can brave the cold, like I said, just put on a scarf and some gloves and a hat, and you'll be okay. And hopefully someone will bring you some hot chocolate or something.
And also we have, anybody can do their community service or volunteer their time in our thrift store as well.
Okay.
Helping out to sort out items that have been donated. to get them priced and put on the floor.
Okay.
And yeah, we're always looking for volunteers to help out in our warehouse.
And what about someone to work in the retail store, or is that only Salvation Army employees that does the retail?
Well, they would mostly, we use our volunteers in the warehouse part. They would do work out on the sales floor
Okay.
to help put things out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So again, if you need some service hours, go by the Salvation Army. They will put you to work. So thank you for tuning in to the first part of Community Conversation. We have been speaking with Lieutenant Curtis Sadler, and I can't thank you enough for stopping by the studio.
Thank you for inviting me.
And hopefully we get to follow with you and see how things are going in a few months. We definitely want to keep a check on all of our nonprofit agencies around town. So don't go away. We'll be right back. I have another guest for you. Stay tuned to Community Conversation.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Want to be a joyful mom? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Each day we have a choice to make. We can choose to be joyful around our kids, or we can choose to be joyless. We can choose to make our kids smile when we walk in the room, or make our kids cringe. Even though every moment can't be perfect, I hope you'll have more moments of joy in your life as a mom. Here's some advice to get you started. First, smile at your kids. Send the message, you are happy to be their mom. Second, laugh. Find humor in life situations. Third, slow down and speak at a pleasant tone of voice. The joy you give will result in happier kids. Remember, your family first.
Want to connect with Mark on Facebook? You can at facebook.com/Mark Merrill.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook.
New St. John Missionary Baptist Church will host their Christmas morning service Sunday, December 25th at 8 o'clock a.m. Again, New St. John Missionary Baptist Church, 308 North Main Street in Jonesboro, will host their Christmas morning service Sunday, December 25th at 8 o'clock a.m. The public is invited.
Do you like the music you hear on KLEK 102.5 FM? Do you like the educational programming that we provide? Do you like the service we provide to the community? Do you like having a station to finally call your own that represents you? If so, please stop by or call any of our underwriters or sponsors that you hear on KLEK and tell them thank you for their support. The support of our underwriters and sponsors is vital for us to stay on the air. So be sure to let them know that you thank them for their support.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Okay, welcome back to Community Conversations. Well, my second guest hasn't arrived yet. Okay. Is there any more information that you could share, Mr. Curtis? Lieutenant
He's here
Curtis?
now.
Okay, is he here? Okay, well, while we're waiting on the other guests to come in, I want to give a quick announcement. Attention members and guests, KLEK 102.5 and Legends 1025 presents Blues and Comedy Jam, Music Blues Legend, Daddy Mac Blues Band with comedian Stephon Smith. This will be January 27th, 2017. Doors open at 7:30 p.m. And this will be at Legends 1025 Club. Well, actually, the name has changed to Legends Smokehouse and Grill, I think. So, and this is at 1025 West Johnson Avenue. Tickets are $15 in advance. Available at Legends and KLEK, Cool Cuts Barbershop, and online at www.klek.org. If you don't get your tickets in advance, they're $25 at the door on the night of the show, and security will be enforced by JPD. Alrighty, so my second guest has made it in the studio, and I have Mr. David Nunez from the Arkansas United Community Coalition. Did I get it right?
Hello, yeah,
All right.
I got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. David, for joining me today. And so I invited David to come in because the AUCC recently hosted what they called a electoral analysis 2016. It was a public forum for individuals to come out and talk about their thoughts and feelings and what happens now after the election. So I'm going to let Mr. David jump right into the information he has brought for us today.
All right. Well, thank you for having us again.
Thank you.
We did had a good turnout at the community forum last November, and so just a little bit of what we have done. Thanks to the collaboration of volunteers and in all our regions, we were able to make around 50,000 calls to possible voters. We knocked on like 3,500 doors doing canvassing, and so we also did like tabling events to our intent was to get people motivated to vote, and because of those efforts we were able to turn out the vote like a big time. Like 80% or something like that.
Okay. And I'm sure this helped people to really pay attention to the election, see who's running for what office, and really listen to the candidates so they can make an informed decision.
Oh yeah, personally for me, I had a view of the election process, from registering to vote to all the way to going to vote.
Okay.
and how the election commission works and all that. It was very interesting.
Okay.
We also had a lot of materials about the issues that were in the ballot.
Okay.
There were 7 issues
Yes.
in the ballot, and so we were able to inform people about those issues, and we had a little bit of training on for new voters on how to go about the machines and stuff like that. It was very interesting.
So I'm sure that the people that did get a chance to go vote, they now have a sense of pride or sense of I made a difference or I played a role in helping to make some things happen.
Yeah. Regardless of the outcome, getting people out to vote, it makes them accountable. It makes people responsible for to exercise your right. That's your right, and you don't want to waste it. And that was our message. There's like probably around 50,000 immigrants in Arkansas. Latino and Asian immigrants that were able to vote. And so, we was pushing every single one of them to get out there and exercise their right,
That is wonderful. And so after the election, you all held a public forum to get, people's feelings and thoughts on the matters. And so what was the outcome of that, and what were some views expressed during that time?
Yeah, very diverse. Our attendance was very mixed.
Okay.
We had very good attendance. Not only Latinos, but there was some Caucasians and some Black community there, and their concerns were like health issues, health care, refugees, and also the DACA program that Obama signed in 2012. And so there are very big concerns on bullying, also on racism. So it was it was very broad.
I can imagine some of the people's their moods are all over the place. They don't want to be sad, they don't want to be upset, but they still have some concerns about, okay, what happens now? Because as we know with the previous presidency, well, he's still in office now, and I'm not going to get into a big political speech because that's not my thing.
Please don't.
But there were just some things that President Obama signed into existence, and people are concerned, okay, are they going to stick around? What's going to happen? So I know there's a lot of concern about what's going to happen now. Can you explain again what DACA is?
Yeah, DACA stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals.
Okay.
And it's a temporary relief for young people that were brought to the States undocumented, and after graduating high school, they weren't able to continue education. So DACA allowed them a temporary permit, a work permit, or a study. They can go to school with that. They can also get a driver's license. And in Arkansas, there wasn't able to get loans or anything like that, and it wasn't a path to citizenship. It was just a temporary program that they had to renew every 2 years. In 2014, President Obama tried to implement DACA Plus and DAPA, which was gonna help the parents, and it was gonna be more lenient in the DACA criteria. But those didn't pass. In 2015, they were voted. Well, actually, the Supreme Court voted tie. It was 4-4, and so it went back to the Fifth Court district. And so DACA, we are still ongoing. We are telling the people that has DACA and they want to renew it, if they need to renew it, we tell them to go ahead and continue. Yeah, it takes about 6 months or so to get the process. So we recommend they do it within maybe 4 to 5 months before it expires.
All right, you're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, and we're speaking with Mr. David Nunez from the Arkansas United Community Coalition. Okay, Mr. David, I want to ask about the children, well, I say children, young people that are under the DACA program. Are you encouraging them to obtain citizenship at this point? Do any of them want to obtain citizenship? Or do they want to go back to their home?
Well, DACA is not a path to citizenship.
Okay.
So they cannot go from DACA to LPRs, which is a legal permanent resident, or citizen. But we are encouraging other people that has the LPR. They are legal permanent residents. They have a green card. We are encouraging them to become a citizen.
Okay.
And then in turn they can petition for their loved ones once they become a citizen.
Okay.
You can actually petition for someone if you're a resident, but it's a longer process, but I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, DACA people, if the people that have DACA, if they can renew it still.
Okay. But are they eligible if they want to try to apply for their, you say LPR? Are they, even though DACA is not the path to that, can they still apply for?
If they have a parent, they're a citizen. If they have a U.S. citizen relative, if there's a parent or a husband or a wife, they can petition for them and become permanent residents.
If you have any questions for Mr. David, the phone lines are open at 870-277-1080. And we're also streaming live on Facebook. And we have a shout out from Mr. Kobe Parker. He says, "Hey, I know Mr. David. Keep up the good work, you guys." Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kobe, for checking in. And Kobe's actually going to be a guest on our show later this week as well. So I'm looking forward to meeting him. Okay, so since we last talked, well, the first time you came on, you were telling us about the program, and you were basically just getting started. You just were getting started. So, since we last talked, how have things been going with volunteers, the program, meeting the needs of the people?
We've been open since June, and I think the progress has been steady, going upwards, so that's a good thing. Our navigation programs have helped us a lot. There's been an increase on people wanting to become citizens and DACA renewals. So that office came in handy to work out of that. We've also established relationships or kept relationships with the mayor, Harold Perrin, and the chief police. so they are very friendly with us. We are also trying to get out to other communities, Batesville, and I mean, being the Northeast organizer, I have to cover a big area. So we're working on that. We got a couple new volunteers that are helping out. As a matter of fact, Hassan and I went yesterday. We got these new posters that we are handing out to businesses. I only have them in Spanish right now.
So I could read it, but I probably wouldn't understand everything it said.
Right. But it pretty much says that this establishment supports the Immigrant Resource Center, and so we're just putting them up on different locations, so people can see, where we at, and contact information if they have any questions.
We would love to have one here in the studio.
I will leave you one in Spanish, but I'll have some in English next time.
Okay. Well, at least I can practice on my Spanish because I'll be starting my classes again at ASU next semester, so Spanish will be one of my classes.
Sweet.
I may be coming to you for some conversation help.
Absolutely, yeah. We can hook you up.
So what are some other community events that you have planned? Or I know it's cold right now. A lot of people don't like to do a lot when it's cold, but
Yeah, no, absolutely. Next, coming up, save the date for January 6th. We're gonna have our second annual Rosca de Reyes, which is a Mexican tradition where we cut bread, and it's about the three wise men that went in and gave the presents to Jesus, I guess. And so it's a Mexican tradition that starts on January 6th, and traditionally we don't follow up, but traditionally there's a little figurine inside the bread, and whoever takes that figurine has to host the party in February 2nd. Now we open for that if anybody wants to make some tamales or something. But on January 6th at the IRC, starting at 6 p.m., we're having our second annual Rosca de Reyes. So we invite. It's mainly to thank our donors and volunteers, and to visit, for a little while with everybody and get acquainted and everything.
Okay, you might have to spell that for me. I heard.
Yeah, Rosca is ROSCA.
Oh, Rosca. Okay.
The Reyes is DE, and then the third word is REYES.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm sorry.
I know I say it too fast sometimes. I get all into it.
Okay. And so what does Rosca de Reyes mean in English?
It's a oval shaped bread.
Okay.
And it's kind of like sweet Mexican bread, Mexican sweet bread, and it's just traditionally accompanied with maybe hot cocoa or traditional Mexican drinks, hot or coffee.
Okay. And so do y'all do the traditional like Mexican hot chocolate? Like that is really good.
Yes, I'm trying to think of the name.
I don't know. Well, there's different brands, but I had a friend bring me some back from a trip they went on, and it's like so much better than the hot cocoa we grew up on.
Well, if anybody that is listening can make it and bring it on, it's welcome.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get you in touch with the ASU Museum director. They hosted Dia de La Muerta. They hosted an event for that, as well as the Hispanic Center. So I'll have to get you in touch with them. They can get their hands on some good stuff.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
All right, you're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, and we're speaking with Mr. David Nunez from the AUCC, which is the Arkansas United Community Coalition, and we're just talking about updates of the program, the mood of the people after the election, and just moving forward. What are the plans, the goals for the AUCC Well, since you cover Northeast Arkansas.
We're gonna get busy next year. We're hoping to, we're still working on a comprehensive immigration reform. I'm very proud to say that I'm a part of AUCC. Is actually AUCC represent Arkansas in FIRM, which is a national nonprofit. So we have the hookups. We're trying to get the attention of our legislators, and other leaders in government to continue supporting the immigration reform movement. And of course, for that, we need all the support of the community, local businesses, anybody that is interested in supporting the movement.
Can you kind of explain to those who may not know what immigration reform means to the people?
In my own words, in my opinion, to me, it would mean like an easier way to become legal, maybe a cheaper way.
Okay. Right now, it's fairly. Do you have a price of what it may cost?
I don't have a exact price, but it has went up.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it went like $85 more to become a citizen. So it was like 640 something, and now it's like 700.
Okay, so it's quite costly.
Yes.
To become a citizen, and I'm sure there's tons of paperwork.
And also the criteria, we're also working on maybe changing the rules. Like there's some instances like like in criminality, like in backgrounds. There are some things that can keep somebody from becoming legal because of something they did like many years ago, and so there's like a few different things that will make you inadmissible, so you cannot become a legal permanent resident or a citizen. And so there's a lot of people that are working for that. But then again, we have some people that don't even want to hear the word immigration reform, or they don't even want to talk about it. So we're asking anybody that is on favor of that to contact legislators, congressmen, any representative, and let them know that we need these for the community.
That's right. Okay. So I'm just trying to gather my thoughts here. I don't want to say the wrong things, but with that, we're going to get ready to go to a break. So I'm going to hold my thoughts until we come back. So please stay tuned to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back with Mr. David Nunez from the Arkansas United Community Coalition. You can still have time to get your questions or comments in. You can call us or leave them on Facebook on our live stream. Stay tuned.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. Our Think Wealthy quote of the week comes from Lynette Califani Cox, also known as the Money Coach. She says,
I don't think that student loan debt has been given enough attention because this is an issue that affects every household. Anybody wants to send their kid to college, or anybody wants to go to school themselves. And it's not just for young people, it's affecting a lot of older people as well.
Whatever you do, don't just give up and default on your loans. The burden won't just go away, it will only get bigger.
And in fact, there's 5 other really good strategies that you could use to try to finance a higher education. First, there's scholarships. Then there are grants. There are work-study opportunities, paid internships, and then the family's own resources.
I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Support for KLEK is brought to you by
Tax Time is here at Car Today, the original buy here, pay here dealer. New Car Today General Manager Sean Corns.
With new inventory available daily, whatever you're looking for, we've got it.
Located on Stadium Boulevard just south of the 63 bypass, Tax Time is the time to drive at Car Today. Car Today.
Experience the joy with Bishop Adrian R. Rogers of Fullness of Joy Church, 3307 Ray Street, Jonesboro, Arkansas, 72401.
From the KLEK Community Calendar, the Jonesboro Fire Department will offer free smoke detectors. The City of Jonesboro acquired grant funding to provide smoke detectors to any home. The detector must be installed by Jonesboro Fire Department firefighters. More information on getting a smoke detector installed in your home is available at 870-932-2428. 870-932-2428.
KLEK 102.5 FM wants to be active in the community. If you or your organization is hosting a community service event, we would like to know about it and be a part of it. KLEK will promote your event on air, online, and on social media. KLEK personalities may also attend the event and provide music and or entertainment. Certain restrictions and availability may apply. If you or your organization would like to partner with KLEK to make the Jonesboro community a better place, call 870-277-1080 or email us at klek@klekfm.org. In order for a community announcement or church announcement to be aired on KLEK 102.1 FM, we
Community conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations. I'm your host, Kabila Hart, and I'm here with Mr. David Nunez from the Arkansas United Community Coalition. And we have been having a in-depth discussion. We're trying to keep it light and not get too deep. But these are issues that are very important, like immigration reform. We hear this word thrown out a lot, but how many of you really know what it means? You know, the concern is helping people that want to become legal citizens, obtain that. Immigration reform basically is to help make the process easier, maybe less expensive, but make the transition easier for those who are just have the what you call a resident status to now being a citizen. Mm-hmm. There are many people who would love to reap the benefits of what America has to offer. So why not allow them opportunity to become a citizen? There are people who want to work and make a decent living in the right way. So let's help those citizens, achieve those things. They may have children already, or they may want to start a family, but they want their family to not have to face some of the same issues that those who are here as immigrants right now. They just want their children and families to have the same opportunities, for generations to come. So that's the bottom line, And I'm not a political person. I'm not a lobbyist. I'm not a whatever. So I'm not going to get too deep into a conversation on political issues, but it just, hopefully people see what's going on and they have a heart and want to help out. So what are some other ways that people can help?
Like you mentioned, we don't know what's going to happen in this with this next administration. So we are encouraging people that are eligible to become citizens to do it. Go ahead and apply, get a lawyer, do it the right way. Okay. Get a lawyer, or inform what's the best way to do it and become legal. people in the community can help us by calling your congressman, calling your legislators, and let them know that we need some kind of immigration reform, that they really need to be working on, strategizing, better ways to make it easier for anybody to become legal. They're always people that are controlling that. They're always talking about, we're gonna let them come, but they're gonna have to come legal already. And in reality, to get somebody prepared to become legal, it is a very highly costly process, and it is a very long process, very tedious process. So we need to work on that.
So the purpose of the immigration reform, is to make that process a lot simpler. And so I'm sure that even though President Obama maybe have made some changes, there's still more changes that needs to be made. So if you are someone who is into politics, consider studying up on this issue and see where you can possibly help, or if you know someone that can help with this process. Someone in Washington or at the state. We have to start at the state level, and then from the state, then go to the national level. So if anyone is out there listening that has a heart, that has concerns, that has the know-how, let's help these individuals out who want to become legal citizens. So. Alrighty, so and just to recap, Mr. David said that they're having a event celebration, Rosca de Reyes. Did I say it right?
Yes, you did. Rosca de Reyes.
And it is a celebration for anyone that has helped out with the AUCC, or anyone who wants to come and just visit. It's an event, a social event, at 6 p.m. on January the 6th, 2017. So mark your calendars. January the 6th, 2017 at 6 p.m. You go out, enjoy some hot beverages, some Mexican or food.
It's going to be a potluck. So if you want to bring your favorite dish, we're going to be inside the Magnolia Road Baptist Church at 911. That's right.
Mingle, socialize, have some good food, and then you said you're going to break the bread at that time.
Yeah, we're going to break the bread, and I mean, we may have some traditional dishes, maybe some tamales, I don't know, some real good food.
If we have some quesadillas, call me.
Well, we might.
I'm not great at cooking. I mean, I cook certain things, but yeah, I'll leave that to the professional. Certain things to the professional.
Right.
Oh, goodness. So, are there any other events that you might have, any meetings? I know at one point you were offering people the opportunity to become members. So, is that membership drive still going?
Yes, absolutely. Anybody can become a member. $15 a year can get you the membership, and it gives you all the trainings if you want to be a part of any programs that we have. We also have our state convention coming up in January 27th, 28th, and 29th. That is where our change agents graduate. We have a little ceremony to give them the certificate, and then we have the championship dinner. That's going to be on Saturday, the 28th, I believe. And then our members get to vote on different issues that they want to be worked on. For example, if the Northeast wants to work on policing or bullying or something like that, our members can bring that up, and then we vote on it, and then we get to work on it. The organizer gets to do all the work. Hopefully with a lot of volunteers.
A lot of volunteers.
Yes.
All right. On that note, we're going to have to end it. And thank you, Mr. David, for stepping in at the last minute to help me out. And thank you for getting the word out about the Arkansas United Community Coalition. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them on our Facebook live stream. Even after we end, I'll get them to Mr. David. Or you can call him, reach him at the Magnolia Road Baptist Church location. That's where the office is located. So you're tuned in to Community Conversations. Everyone have a very blessed and warm day.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jones